Now, in the previous class, we have seen what is the Fourier series and what are the various problems in the Fourier series. Okay, we have seen the basic problems, how to solve if an equation is given, or let us say if a waveform is given to you, how to solve obtain the Fourier series coefficient. Now, let us look into the properties of the Fourier series. Properties of the Fourier series are very similar to the properties of Z transform. So, we'll be able to know very soon. So, let us take the first property, that is linearity property. Let us assume that x of t Fourier series is equal to Fourier, that is x of k. So, by taking x of t, you are going to get Fourier coefficients x of k, and y of t will get y of k. Then z of t, which is a combination of x of t and y of t. So, a into x of t plus b into y of t. When you obtain a Fourier series, it gives you Fourier transform. Z of t transforms to z of k, and a will remain unchanged. It's a constant. X of t becomes x of k, and b y of k. So z of k will become equal to a x of k plus b y of k. But one thing you remember, both x of t and y of t should have the same fundamental period. Otherwise, this relation is not valid. So you have to add the terms such that both of them have the same period. If you add the signal with two different periods, then for that signal, you have to obtain the fundamental period. So for which both the signals are periodic. Then only you use the relation t equal to 2 pi by omega naught here, and then obtain the linearity property. Okay. Now what I will do, I'll use the basic equation. What I know, z of k is equal to 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught z of t into e power minus jk omega naught t dt. Okay, this I have. This is equal to 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught z of t is equal to a x of t plus b y of t. This are taken into e power minus jk omega naught t. I written as it is. Now this is equal to a is a constant and it is not affected by the integration. Therefore, a is taken outside. 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught x of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. Okay. Plus b you take outside. 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught y of t e power minus jk omega naught t. Okay, why I have taken a and b outside is because they are constants. So a is as it is. What is this term? It is nothing but your x of k. So just like z of k to z of t, x of t to x of k. So I written a x of k plus b into y of k. So z of k will become a x of k plus b y of k. That means the proof. Okay. Any doubt in this proof? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, it is same as the Z transform. Okay, all the proofs are very similar to the Z transform. Therefore, it will become very easy for you to understand. Okay, now time shift property. If x of t transforms into x of k, then z of t is equal to x of t minus t naught. Okay, this transforms into z of k. Z of t transforms into z of k. This is equal to e power minus jk omega naught t naught into x of k. So if input is shifted in time, output will be same x of k but multiplied by e power minus jk omega naught into t naught. How do you do that? Once again, adopt the same procedure. What is z of k? Z of k is equal to 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught z of t e power minus jk omega naught t. This basic equation you take, and now what is your z of t? Z of t is nothing but x of t minus t naught. So 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught x of t minus t naught into e power minus jk omega naught t into dt. Now what I will do, I'll put the substitution. X of t minus t naught is equal to lambda. Therefore, I have z of k is equal to 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught. Remember one thing, these integral limits are not going to change. Why? Because this are brought only for one period of time. Therefore, there is no change in 1 by t naught also and integral for a period of t naught. So what control you have is only within the terms inside the integral. Now I'll write x of lambda, this one, into e power minus jk omega naught t is equal to lambda plus t naught. This I have dt is equal to d lambda because t naught is constant. Therefore, dt is equal to d lambda. Now what I will do? Integration with respect to d lambda. Therefore, minus e power minus jk omega naught into t naught is a constant. It has nothing to do with integration. I'll take it outside. So I have 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught x of lambda into e power minus jk omega naught into lambda d lambda. Okay. Therefore, z of k is equal to e power minus jk omega naught t naught into x of k. See here, look at this term. This entire term is 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught x of lambda t power minus jk omega naught lambda. So this is nothing but your x of k. Is it clear to you? Are you able to follow? Yes, Sahana? Any doubt? So it is the same as Z transform. Whatever you have done in Z transform, parallel proofs will come. So once you practice Z transform, it will be same analogy with only instead of summation you have integration. Other than that, there is no much of difference. Now look into one more property that is exclusive to this one is frequency shift. So it is exactly the opposite way of the previous property. If x of t transforms into x of k, then z of t is equal to e power jk omega naught t, e power jk naught omega naught t into x of t. That Fourier series into x of z of k is equal to x of k minus k naught. So it is exactly the other way in the previous one. Now once again we'll start with z of k is equal to 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught z of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. Now what is your z of t? Z of t is equal to e power jk naught omega naught t into x of t. This z of t is transferred into only this term. Okay, this one transforms to this one. And what remains here? E power minus jk omega naught t. You have to take one clue here. This k naught and this k should be separate. Otherwise, what happens? This e power minus jk naught and this will get cancelled and you will not get the answer. It will become integral x of t dt and you will not end up into any problem. So be careful, choose k naught and don't choose k. Once you do this one, it will become x of t e power minus j. If you take common, what remains here? K, and here it will become minus of k naught because minus is taken outside into omega naught into t. So omega naught t outside into tt. Okay, this is nothing but x of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. Only difference is instead of k, I have k minus k naught. Okay, so instead of k minus k naught, whatever I have. Okay, so once I have, I'll write this one as x of k minus k naught. Are you able to follow? Any doubt here? Any doubt in this expression? Are you able to follow? Any doubt?
Sir, repeat this, sir.
See here. When I have taken z of t, what is your z of t? E power jk naught omega naught t. This I have written into x of t. Okay, these two terms are from z of t, but this term will become extra. E power minus jk omega naught t will become extra. One clue here, this is k naught and this is k. Both of them should not be same. Okay, you take k1 or k2, but don't take k. If you take k, what happens? E power jk omega naught t will cancel with e power minus jk omega naught t, and ultimately you are going to have only x of t dt. You are integrating x of t with respect to one cycle. That is not going to give you any result. That's why k naught is different and k is different. This one thing you have to take care while you write the theorem. Now what I done? I taken x of t as it is. Now I should bring into e power minus jk omega naught t. That's why minus j is taken common. So I have k here and I have k naught here, omega naught t here into dt. This is nothing but your, see here, look at this equation and this equation. Look, contrast them. It is x of t e power minus j omega naught t, both of them have only, instead of k I have k minus k naught. Instead of k I have k minus k naught. So what I will write? It is nothing but x of
k minus k naught.
That's all. Okay. So
Yes,
both
sir.
of them are same. Only one thing is replace k by k minus k naught. Other than that, there is no difference. Okay. Now
Yes.
scaling. Here slight difference in property. X of t gives you x of k. If you change x of t to x of at, but Fourier transform will remain unchanged. Look here. Sorry, Fourier series will remain unchanged. X of z of t becomes x of at, then z of k becomes x of k only. But one restriction, a becomes more than 0. If a is less than 0, then this theorem will not apply. And a cannot be 0 also. If a becomes 0, it will become x of 0. X of 0 will become constant. Then Fourier series cannot be applied, because Fourier series can be applied only for periodic signal. X of 0 is a simple number that is not periodic with anything. Then you will not be able to take the Fourier series. Now, how do you solve the problem? Once again, we'll start with the same thing. X of k is nothing but 1 by t naught, x of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. So what is your z of k? It is nothing but z of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. Now what happens? Here z of t gets replaced by x of at, but what I have written here, observe, e power minus jk omega naught t, apart from that I have written a also extra. Why? Whatever t you have, that gets replaced by at. So what I'm doing, I'm replacing, let us say, t by at. So let us take a is positive. Let us take a equal to 2. So your new x of t will be compressed version of old x of t. So x of at, let us say it is for 2 duration. If you compress it, what's the period of the signal? Now it will be, period will become 1. So new period is 1 by a of old period. So new t naught is original t naught divided by a. Any doubt here? Agree this one? Any doubt? Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So look at here. I modified it. Instead of t naught, I have made t naught by a. And now also I modified t naught by a. Because when you compress the signal, period of the signal gets reduced by equal factor. Suppose you compress the signal by 2, period of the signal also gets compressed by 2. So what happens? It becomes a by t naught. This is for t naught by a. Z of t is with x of at e power minus jk a omega naught t dt. Now it's a simple step. At is equal to lambda. Therefore dt is equal to d lambda by a. Therefore z of k is equal to a by t naught integral for a period of t naught. Okay, x of lambda, it is equal to lambda e power minus jk. Okay, at gets replaced by lambda into omega naught, dt is equal to d lambda by a. Okay, this is for a period of t naught by a. I skipped this one, so take it as t naught by a. Now this a cancels with this a. So what you have is 1 by t naught integral for this period of t naught x of lambda d power minus jk omega naught into lambda. This is nothing but your x of k only. Therefore, so when you cancel this one, it will become 1 by t naught only. So there is no change between this equation and this equation. Okay, therefore x of k remains unchanged. So when you know the Fourier series equivalent of its periodic signal, if you compress it by a factor, let us say by 2 or 3, then the Fourier series will remain unchanged. There is no change in the Fourier series. That's what is the theorem saying. Okay. Now let us go to the time differentiation property. If x of t transforms into x of k, now derivative of x of t transforms into jk omega naught into x of k. Okay, so I'll take this equation, that is x of t is equal to summation for all values of k, x of k into e power jk omega naught t. What is this equation? Can you recollect what is this equation doing? Anybody? What is this equation doing? Anybody? What is this equation doing? Yeah, anybody? What is this equation doing? This equation just synthesizes x of t from its Fourier series coefficients. So it is one of the two equations. First equation was obtaining x of k. Second equation is synthesizing x of t from x of k. Now what I will do, as a proof says, take the derivative with respect to t. Therefore, I take up the differentiation. So what is the derivative with respect to t? This summation will remain unchanged. X of k will remain unchanged. Derivative of x of t is nothing but derivative of e power x. What is the derivative of e power x? E power x into derivative of x. So jk into omega naught. So jk omega naught into e power j k omega naught t. Differentiation is with respect to t. Therefore, jk omega naught becomes constant. Therefore, I have taken it like this. So this entire term x of k into jk omega naught into x of k e power jk omega naught t you have. So differentiation of x of t with respect to dt, Fourier series with reference to jk omega naught into x of k. Instead of x of k, I have jk omega naught x of k into e power jk omega naught t. Look here, this x of k, it just gets replaced by jk omega naught and other term will remain unchanged. When you can write this as x of t, then you can write this as dx of t by dt. Any doubt here? Any doubt in the proof? Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is, can you recollect equivalent property in Z transform? What is the property in Z transform? Any of you can recollect? It is multiplication by n property. If x of n transforms to x of z, then n into x of n transforms into minus z into d by dz of x of z. Same property is written in this manner in the Fourier series. That's all. Now, let us look into time domain convolution. Okay, look at the equation carefully here. X of t transforms into x of k, y of t transforms into y of k, z of t, x of t circular transformation it is. That means a periodic convolution with y of t. Means convolution is performed over one cycle of time. That's what I written here. This one denotes periodic convolution. Performance of convolution for one period of time only. Then z of k is equal to t naught into x of k into y of k, where t naught is equal to 2 pi by omega naught. Okay, so let us take once again z of k is equal to 1 by t naught, z of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. This is the previous equation we know. What is your z of t? Z of t is equal to x of t convolved with y of t for a period of t naught, one complete period, into e power minus jk omega naught t. What is this one? What is the convolution equation? X of t convolved with y of t, what we write? X of L, some variable, or x of tau, something like that, into y of t minus L dl. So what is the difference between the normal convolution and this convolution? Both of them are same, but only one thing is it is performed for one period only. Even though signal is infinite in duration, everything is neglected. The results are given for only one period of time. That is the difference between this periodic convolution and aperiodic convolution. Aperiodic convolution, you are going for entire duration of the signal. Here, duration of the signal is fixed, that is as one period. That's the fundamental difference between this set of convolution and normal convolution. Any doubt here? Any doubt till now? Are you able to follow the periodic convolution?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So same convolution equation, but only one thing is you have to write for one complete period. Okay, that's all is the difference. Now what I will do, I'll take the equation z of k is equal to 1 by t naught, integral for a period of t naught, Z of t is nothing but equal to, let us write what is x of t convolved with y of t, that is integral for a period of t naught x of L into y of t minus L dl into, what is the term you have, e power minus jk omega naught t dt. This much I have. So e power minus jk omega naught t dt into e power, so I have written the entire term. Substitution is okay. So this term gets replaced by this integration that I have written here. This is written here, and what is remaining is only this term dt. This term is completely rewritten at this point. Once you have this one, interchange the order of integrations. So 1 by t naught, 1 by t naught written unchanged. Inner one, that is this term x of L summation integration for a period of t naught. So this is written like this. Okay. Next, integral for period of t naught is taken inside. What is remaining here? Y of t minus L into e power minus jk omega naught t into dt. Okay, dl will go outside and not shown here. Dl should be written here. Okay, dl has skipped. This you have tried. Okay, x of L into this term separate and write dl. Dl here. Now what happens? Put t minus L is equal to m. Therefore, dt is equal to dm. Right in the inner integral. So outer integral 1 by t naught. Integral for a period of t naught x of L will remain unchanged. This inner integral for a period of t naught y of m into e power minus jk omega naught into t is equal to L plus m. T is equal to L plus m I have written. Dt is equal to dm. Dt is equal to dm is written, and x of L dl, that is written here. This step is this dl is written in this manner. Are you able to follow? Any doubt in this step?
No, sir.
Okay, so I am just interchanging the order of integrations and I am substituting t minus L equal to m. That's the only step I am doing. You can substitute another variable, but the procedure is only this much. Now what I will do, look at this summation. Here integration is performed with respect to m, therefore L is constant. Therefore I'll take e power minus jk omega naught L separately. So how 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught x of L into e power minus jk omega naught L this side into dl, integral for a period of t naught y of m e power minus jk omega naught m into dm. Okay, so I separated two integrations, one at one side with respect to m on one side and with respect to L on another side. Now both of them are separate only. Now this is equal to 1 by t naught. What is this one? This one, integral x of L into e power minus jk omega naught L dl is equal to t naught into x of k. What is x of k actually? X of k is equal to 1 by t naught into x of L into e power minus jk omega naught L. I'll show the equation to you. Look here. Anywhere I want to show. See here. X of z of k is 1 by t naught into z of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. So this entire term will become equal to t naught into z of k. Similarly here also 1 by t naught you retain, x of L into e power minus jk omega naught L is nothing but t naught into x of k. Similarly this term is nothing but t naught into y of k. Don't get confused. 1 by t naught will remain unchanged. This one term gives you t naught into x of k and this term gives you t naught into y of k. Out of which one t naught gets cancelled. Whatever I have is t naught into x of k into y of k. This gives you the result. Any doubt here? Any step you did not understand? Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now
Yes.
the modulation theorem. Modulation theorem is another way. Whatever you have done, x of t transforms into x of k, y of t transforms into y of k, z of t, that is x of t into y of t. Multiplication in the time domain transforms into convolution in the frequency domain. The previous theorem says that convolution in the time domain transforms into multiplication in the frequency domain. Okay. So both of them are exactly opposite. If time domain you multiply, frequency domain you convolve. If time domain you convolve, frequency domain you have to multiply. So the convolution theorem and modulation theorem are exactly the opposite ways. Now once again we'll start with z of k, that is equal to 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught z of t into e power minus jk omega naught t. Now what is your z of t? Z of t is equal to x of t into y of t e power minus jk omega naught t dt integral for a period of t naught. That's the equation number 1. But what is your synthesis equation? So 1 by t naught I'll retain. What is your x of t? X of t is rewritten as summation x of L. What is x of L? X of L are Fourier series coefficients into e power j L omega naught t. So whatever for synthesis equation you are written for x of t, I am replacing x of t by its equivalent synthesis equation. So putting 2 in 1, I have z of k is equal to 1 by t naught integral for a period of t naught, replace x of t by this equation. That is x of t is equal to summation L equal to minus infinity to plus infinity x of L into e power j omega naught L into t into entire remaining equation, that is y of t into e power minus jk omega naught t dt. Are you able to follow? Any doubt here? Are you able to follow?
No. Yes, sir.
See here, x of t gets replaced by its synthesis equation. So 1 by t naught remains unchanged, integral for a period of t naught remains unchanged, and whatever I have is this much. X of t, I am writing the equivalent of x of t in this manner. Remaining things are as it is. Y of t into e power minus jk omega naught t are as it is. Okay, just only write, instead of writing simply x of t into y of t, replace x of t by its equivalent synthesis equation. So I'll get. Now what I will do, I'll take integration and summation, I will interchange. So I written x of L as it is, y of t are brought one side, these two terms are separated. That is e power minus j into k minus L into omega naught t dt. So there are e power one term and e power another term. I written both e power and one side and rewritten. Now I will interchange the order of summation and integration. This one term is separate. I made it separate, integral 1 by t naught and summation x of L, integral for a period of t naught, whatever I have is only this much. Y of t into e power minus j k minus L into omega naught t. Whether the step is clear to you? Any doubt you have in this step?
No, sir.
Okay. Now this will remain unchanged. Summation for minus infinity to plus infinity x of L. What is 1 by t naught into y of t into e power minus j k minus L into omega naught t? It is nothing but Fourier series only. Instead of y of k, I have y of k minus L, because k gets replaced by k minus L. So I will write this is nothing but Fourier series equivalent y of k minus L. Are you able to follow? This is 1 by t naught into this entire term. Y of t into e power minus j into k minus L omega naught t, that is equivalent to y of k minus L. This term is equivalent to, what is this one? X of L into y of k minus L is nothing but x of k convolved with y of k. Any doubt in this step? Are you able to follow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Any doubt? I'll re-explain. Okay, don't hesitate. Any step you did not understand?
No, sir.
Okay.
We understood.
Okay. So we'll stop the class at this point, which covers you complete all the properties of the Fourier series. Okay. So once you understand the properties of Fourier series, in the next class we'll go for the problems based on this simple problems based on the Fourier series. Already you know how to solve the problems on Fourier series, but in this